Okay, now going back to a lot of people not agreeing with the war, you are going to have again a lot of protests, the Doves versus the Hawks, you're going to have controversy, conspiracy, so on and so forth. Now, Kent State University in 1970, Cambodia is invaded by the United States to cut off the supply to the Viet Cong, even without notifying Congress. Now, that Ho Chi Minh Trail is going to go in through Cambodia, so the United States army decides to cut it off. Congress has no idea that that is happening, so we have now invaded Cambodia without the permission of Congress. Going back to the Gulf of Tonkin resolution, the president is allowed to do really whatever they wanted. So here you're going to have Nixon explaining what he's doing after the fact. Now, college students burst out in protest. Kent State University. The protest led to an ROTC building being burned. The National Guard was called in and they fired into protesters and wounded 9 and killed 4 students. Okay, those are the 4 students that were killed during this protest. Jackson State, Mississippi, the same thing happened where 12 were wounded and 2 were dead. And these were the 2 that were killed in that protest. Okay. Now the Pentagon Papers, more controversy. December 31st, 1970, Congress repealed the Tonkin Gulf Resolution. When you repeal, that means you're getting rid of it. So the Tonkin Gulf Resolution gave war powers to the president. Now they're going to take those war powers away. Okay, they're taking them away. In June 1971, a 7,000-page document written for Robert McNamara in 1967 through 68 revealed the plans for entering Vietnam. Basically goes against the government, saying, you know what, North Vietnam attacked the United States first. The Pentagon Papers exposed the government and our original plans to attack Vietnam. It tried to be covered up, but they lost the case in the Supreme Court. LBJ had no intention on ending the war in Vietnam as long as North Vietnam persisted. So here's where you have the distrust for the government. The distrust for the government begins here. Now you're going to have the fall of Saigon. Saigon is going to be the capital in South Vietnam. Vietnamization gradually reduces American forces. Right, so we're getting them back. In 1973, there is a ceasefire. Nixon agrees to pull out remaining U.S. troops. North Vietnam agreed to release American prisoners of war. POW, MIA, those are prisoners of war, POW. MIA means missing in action. You are not forgotten. There are so many soldiers that we still to this day do not know what happened to them, if they are alive, if they're alive or not. It just says you are not forgotten. After the United States withdrawal, fighting continued, of course. In 1975, Saigon finally fell to North Vietnam. The fall of Saigon, now Ho Chi Minh City, ended the Vietnam War. Okay, these are going to be your last people that are trying to escape South Vietnam before it becomes completely communist. So, I mean, obviously you can tell that all these people will not fit on that helicopter. And here you can see how people wanted to get out of there. And of course, everybody wasn't able to get out. And all of Vietnam is now together, North and South combined, and they are to this day communist. Now, the legacy of the Vietnam War. Over 58,000 Americans lost their lives in Vietnam. Many others suffered physical and physiological injuries. The government actions were greatly affected by public opinions. How the government dealt with Vietnam was based on how the people reacted and the protest. The War Powers Act, that one's a big one. The president must now inform Congress within 48 hours, right, 2 days, of sending troops overseas. If within 60 days Congress does not approve, the president must withdraw forces. They must get the troops back. So this is the legacy of the Vietnam War. And again, a lot of people believe that we lost the Vietnam War. Some people say, you know what, well, we did what we had to do. this would actually be one of our official first losses, the Vietnam War. If you have any questions, you let me know.